Hi, everyone. My name is Taylor Silva. I'm the young adult librarian at the Fall River Public Library, and today I'm going to have a conversation with two of my cohorts here about our favorite things in James Bond, our favorite Bond actors, movie, and a few other topics that'll come up as well. And I'm joined today by
David Mello, Supervisor of Children's Services. And a big James Bond fan.
Yes. And
David Moquin, I'm an assistant librarian in the children's room here at the Fall River Public Library.
Awesome. So, gentlemen, you may be wondering why I called you all here today. Talk about our favorite James Bond. So, Mello, if you want, you can kick us off. Who was your favorite, or is your favorite James Bond?
Well, my favorite James Bond is, most likely, will always be the Sean Connery. May he rest in peace. To me, he was the first James Bond I always saw. I think I had seen. That, I'm sure, has something to do with it. But to me, he embodied the nature of what a super secret suave agent should be. He had style. He had such class to him. Of course, that incredible voice that he had to deliver his dialogue, and there was just something. He was a type of character that a guy could look up to be. You know, when as a kid, you wanted to be James Bond. You wanted to be tough like him and get all the girls, and but just to be as suave and sophisticated as his character, as he developed his character to be. So there was been James Bonds. Of course, which have come along down the pike since, and some of them I've enjoyed, some of them I haven't liked so much. But to me, it's Sean Connery.
Sean Connery,
yes,
all
Sean
the way.
Connery all the way.
Nice. Well, Moquin.
Yeah, I have to agree that
Sean Connery.
my favorite James Bond is Sean Connery. I remember going to AC Book World when I was a kid and buying all of the paperbacks. And that's how I envisioned him. I read all of those from cover to cover, all the Ian Fleming books, and I didn't see them in the theater, the Sean Connery ones, of course, but he is my favorite one. Yeah, it's like he jumped right from the pages of the books.
Yeah.
Really a great performance. He did a good job in over 6 movies that he.
Six.
And I think one of the things that made it fun for me, that always makes seeing Sean Connery play James Bond fun for me, is he could take the role in aspects of it seriously, but you could see where he was having fun with the part as well. And nobody, not even Roger Moore, could deliver the one-liners as well as he could. He just made it so special, and you couldn't help but snicker, even in the most, dangerous of spots that he got himself into. There was always that one zinger he would come out with, and you just had to crack the smile.
Yes, yeah. Goldfinger was one of those that had the great lines.
Oh, yes, quite a few of them.
Yeah, that was a great movie. When we went to Washington D.C. a few years back, they have a James Bond museum.
That's cool.
And they have all of the great like you say, one-liners.
Oh, the zingers.
They're all printed on the walls.
Oh my God.
They have all these displays. It's a fantastic museum. If you ever get the chance to go there, I highly recommend.
Where was it again?
It's in Washington, D.C.
Oh, Washington, D.C.
Right downtown.
Is that the Spy Museum you mentioned? Or?
It was the Spy Museum, but now they have it. It's just a James Bond.
Oh, okay.
All James Bond.
I didn't know about that until you mentioned it today.
Yeah, it's really great.
Ooh.
I like I said, I highly recommend it. Yeah. I could have spent the whole day there.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. And my favorite Bond actor is Daniel Craig. For that same reason that you said, I feel he embodies the suave and kind of brutish, brute and brood parts of Bond, and I just feel Daniel Craig is a really good tough guy.
And I've discussed this with Dave earlier, and I would agree with you in so much that I think of all the actors to come down the pike since Sean Connery, he has been my favorite for the very same reasons that you mentioned. He can be very suave and sophisticated, but when it comes to rolling up his sleeves and knocking someone in the jaw, he'll do it. Yeah. And does it believably as well.
Yeah, I feel he's, like you said, we've kind of had stinkers and some Bonds that are.
No,
a few.
I do have.
You
to
can back
say
me
that
up here when we get to that.
He does come as close to Sean Connery, but with him, I think it's the supporting. Judi Dench.
With Daniel Craig.
Yes, with Daniel Craig. Judi Dench, and then now with Ralph Fiennes as M.
Can never say his name right.
Q. The young actor Ben
Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear plays Q, and he's fantastic too because he loves all those gadgets.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Old Desmond Llewellyn.
Yes, and as much as we miss Desmond Llewellyn, you'd always look forward to seeing his little cameos.
Yes.
I think this guy is very good.
Yeah,
when I first saw him, I said, "Oh, he's too young to be Q," but he
pulls it off.
He pulls it off very, very nicely, very nerdishly, but definitely he's of course a genius, but he's done a very good job with the character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, you mentioned Judi Dench.
Was
fantastic. Yes.
It was Skyfall where she passes the baton.
Yeah.
That was just heartbreaking.
Right. Yes.
Because she was fantastic in that role, and I wanted her to continue. And then even the backstory.
You learn a lot.
That movie was fantastic. Yeah. To me, that was the best one that he's done. I know you.
Yes. I like that one too. Skyfall was wonderful. I really really enjoyed it.
Spectre was good, but Skyfall.
Yeah, and Skyfall was also wonderful because of again. You have a wonderful James Bond movie. You got to have a wonderful villain for him to go against, and I can't think of his name. The villain in James Bond, the actor.
I know his last name.
Javier.
I can never.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Yeah, he was just great.
That's right. Yeah.
And so that made it one of the aspects I think that made it really, really good.
Yes.
But yes, Judi Dench took a something that was a cameo performance and she really fleshed out the character and made it an important part of the James Bond mythos there in the movies.
And then even his Moneypenny.
Yes,
is
exactly.
Fantastic. I think
she is. Yes,
because she's
no longer just behind the desk. Yes,
right over
exactly. Yes,
which was another one that came out of left field. I couldn't.
Right. Yeah. No, I like that too.
Yeah, I thought that was very well done.
No longer just behind the desk, watching the hat being flicked on the hat rack, and listening in on their conversations.
Right.
But she's rough and tumble now.
Yeah. Because even when Pierce Brosnan had taken over the ones that. Was John Cleese? Was he the one that played Q?
He was Q. Yes.
So he was more comedic, and he brought the.
I like John Cleese, but he didn't work for me. It
fell flat. It wasn't the same. So this cast now is perfect.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
All right. Yeah.
Do you think they cast him as he was Q, right?
Yeah.
John Cleese.
Yeah.
Do you think they just casted him just based on the name, like people, Do you think they would just assume John Cleese, okay? Try to go into a different.
Because the other guy, both of them, the ones that played M and Q, they were throughout the whole franchise right up to that point.
Right, exactly.
It was Pierce Brosnan that kind of.
I think the actor. I cannot think of the actor's name that played Q all those years, but he probably would have kept on playing it had he not been killed in it was a car accident. He was. But he was already much older, and he was still appearing in the movies. Yeah. The more I think of it now, we're talking about John Cleese. He seems so out of place.
Out of place.
Yeah. Out of place. Even in the first introduction, if you remember, when it was Q, when they were first introduced John Cleese's character. And there was something with the inflatable car, and it was just so silly. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, there was another thing with flames or something.
Yeah, it was too silly.
Something in the lab. You're right. Because it turned into Monty Python. You couldn't get him out of your head because.
Yeah, it was slapstick almost.
Yeah.
It's kind of that thing where the audience is waiting for, like something funny something that may or may not happen. So I'm with you.
Yeah, you almost expected him to break out into a silly walk.
Right.
That would have been funny, actually.
That would have been good. What? We'll go backwards. Moquin.
Yeah.
What is your favorite James Bond movie?
Well, talking about slapstick, as you just mentioned, my favorite James Bond movie is Moonraker with Roger Moore. Because Roger Moore, I think, did turn it upside down.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He was still suave and debonair, but
put a lot of
also,
laughs into it, yeah.
Because my second favorite is Live and Let Die. Okay. And that one, both of them actually were very filled with slapstick.
Yeah.
The villains, and in Live and Let Die, you had the sheriff, straight out of Smoking in the Bandit, chasing after him.
Chasing after him.
Yes, right, yeah.
I liked those movies.
Yeah.
And then even For Your Eyes Only, that was another one. So Roger Moore, those movies, and then View to a Kill. We were talking about View to a Kill too.
Yeah.
That was another one.
Yeah, I like the Roger Moore films. I mean, they were fun.
He had some humor through them.
Yeah.
I don't know if he went overboard with it, but
Which was the one that? The one.
Those were the ones I saw in the theater because
right. Yeah.
Sean Connery, of course, I was too young to see.
What I can remember is the chase with the boats, and that was Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die.
But what was the sequel to it where they kind of? All I can remember is a particular scene. I thought it was in Paris, where this boat suddenly rides up onto these streets, and it turns into an inflatable boat, and then it runs through these pigeons, and they show this pigeon doing. They do this silly little thing with a pigeon doing this.
Yeah, that was Man with the Golden Gun.
Was it Man with the Golden Gun?
Either that or Spy Who Loved Me.
I think it was A Spy Who Loved Me, but I just it was.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Came
it was
out
just
of the water and
so
he was,
too much. Yeah.
If I remember right, there was a little car or something that went underwater, and they promoted it with the James Bond
Oh yeah,
logo,
right.
Yeah. One of the little Matchbox cars.
Yeah, that was the Man with the Golden Gun, I think. The underwater car.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Yeah. Yeah, this was a car that came up on land. No, it was a boat that kind of changed into a hovercraft almost. It was so poorly done.
Maybe that was Spy Who Loved Me then.
I can't
Then they
remember
introduced
where.
Jaws. Jaws was introduced in Spy Who Loved Me.
Yes, exactly.
Then he
And then he-
reappeared in
Moonraker. Yes. Yeah.
Where he got his little girlfriend.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Jaws lost a little bit for me in Moonraker though. He was so diabolical in For Your Eyes Only, and then
Bleh.
yeah.
That was part of his charm, though. I liked Roger Moore. I thought he was,
Yeah, as I said, I enjoyed the Roger Moore
Sean-
films, but sometimes I just had to shake my head in the theater.
Yeah, that was the whole.
Yeah.
Sean Connery is still my favorite.
Yeah.
But I do have a spot for Roger Moore.
Yeah.
What about you, Mello? What's your?
My favorite is going back to a Sean Connery, the fifth in the series. You Only Live Twice.
Okay.
And a couple of reasons for that. That movie seemed to embody all the aspects that in my mind, make a great Bond film. You had the diabolical scheme of this strange object in space sucking up both Soviet Union spacecraft and U.S. spacecraft, and no one knew who it was that was doing it. And come to find out, it was a diabolical plot by Spectre. And making these spaceships disappear, hoping that one would suspect the other of being responsible. And you had these the underground volcano villain base, which has been spoofed in so many movies, but they did it to such a grand level. You had all the different foreign countries. You had James Bond himself being killed at the very beginning, if you remember, machine gunned in a collapsing bed.
Yep.
And you had, of course, for me, the first time seeing his arch nemesis Blofeld. I mean, we would see his voice, hear his voice at times. We would see him sometimes from the neck down in previous films, like in Thunderball. But this was the first time you ever got to see him
his
played
face.
by Donald Pleasance, who was always a favorite character actor of myself. And I think since then you've had so many people try to duplicate him, namely with
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil, of course, yes.
With the big scar.
Yeah, and the scar and
They
the
did the
white
brother
cat
thing
and
first.
the Nehru collar jacket, and to me he's always been the perfect Blofeld,
Yeah.
and and those are my reasons for liking it. There was
Okay.
just so much action in that movie, and at the very end when they finally converge upon the volcano. Headquarters. I mean, it's just so exciting. You have ninjas coming down from the ceiling. You have explosions. You have nuclear warheads being detonated. It had it all, and I to me that's my favorite.
It's just too bad James Bond didn't have a little mini-me, you know.
Yeah. Well, new movie hasn't come out yet, so.
Austin Powers
Oh,
just
and we
stole
can't
along.
forget the henchman being eaten by the piranhas in that one. Okay, I love that scene. That scene where he just goes into that pit and that swamp and he's eaten by piranhas. So
Right,
cool.
yeah. That was the other thing too. All these villains had these great pools full
Yes.
of horrible,
Yeah.
horrible
Right.
creatures that just
Live and Let Die. You had the sharks.
The sharks.
Yes. Yeah. Piranhas.
the alligators. the
Alligators.
piranhas,
Yes.
you know.
Right. Also in Live and Let Die. That's right. The alligators. Yeah.
Who was the villain? Who was the bad? Which one has Baron Samedi?
Oh, that
Oh,
was,
Live and Let Die.
Well, that was
yeah.
Live and
Yes.
Let Die.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joffrey Holder, who
Yes.
was
Couldn't
wonderful
forget his
in the
voice
plot.
in
Yes.
those Sprite
Uh-huh.
commercials.
Yes.
Yeah, I was-
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He's
laugh.
he's
Yeah.
been my
That wonderful laugh.
he's my favorite villain because
Yeah.
With the tarot cards.
that's right, because there was a video game for the PlayStation 2, maybe Xbox and GameCube that one of my best friends had. There were two of them, Nightfall and I can't remember the other one on the top of my head, but there was a multiplayer aspect. You could
Yep.
sit down with your buddies, and it was like a battle royale kind of thing, and you could pick not only James Bond and his companions from the game and past movies, but more importantly, you could be the bad guys.
Oh, okay.
And I always picked Baron Samedi.
Oh, okay.
Or
It was very imposing, you know.
Yeah.
Just his height, his features, his
was
voice.
cool.
He was cool. Yes.
he struck a chord with me. But
And he was a Broadway choreographer.
Right. That's right.
how he got his start. Yeah.
And that scene with the in New Orleans where they're going down with the parade there, and you know he comes
Oh,
out.
yes.
That
yes.
was a-
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many memorable scenes in Bond movies through the years. Most of them deaths, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But so many memorable scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite villains was Christopher Walken and
Oh,
yes.
God.
Grace Jones.
They were
Uh-huh.
wonderful.
You two are kids.
As far as villainous duos, I think they were the
Yeah.
best. Yes.
They were cartoony too, but they were fun. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
And best death by a James Bond villain goes to. Who would you?
Who? Oh, just in general?
Yeah, in general. I know I've got mine.
I have mine.
Okay.
The bad guy from Goldfinger.
Odd Job. Yes.
I
Wait, getting sucked out of the plane.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mine was Odd Job.
Okay.
What just a cool way to die. First, you're dying in Fort Knox,
That's
and then
right.
you're being electrocuted while getting your own deadly metal hat. I mean, how cool is that?
That is
you know?
cool.
And
But yeah, getting sucked out of the plane.
yeah,
my God.
that was pretty bad.
That stuck with me.
Yeah.
That
More ways than one.
yeah.
I'll tell you, I've never gotten into an airplane where I haven't thought of that scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you find yourself actively avoiding the window seat?
Oh yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
That's
It's-
the only thing. That's
yeah.
every time I go in, like you just said, every
Yeah.
time I go on a plane, okay.
Yeah,
Remember how that guy
and
died.
I don't have the girth that Blofeld,
Exactly.
that Goldfinger had, so I'd be out the window in a
Yeah,
second.
it wouldn't be nearly as dramatic.
Yeah.
It would just be, oh, there he goes.
Dave might take a while though. He'd take a few more moments there.
I know you also. Oh my God! Thanks. It's turning into the insult Dave.
I know.
You're a big fan of Christopher Lee. What did you think of him in Man with the Golden Gun?
I liked him in Man with the Golden. I don't feel as though he was used as best as he could have.
No. Well, I'm sure you know what my favorite part of that movie was.
Oh yes, of course, Viva Laches. Yes, yeah.
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 Yeah. I don't even have to think twice about that. Yeah. But Christopher Lee, I liked him. I don't think I loved him as an actor. I don't feel he was used
memorable-
yes,
Right.
because I don't think he was given the material really to work with. And one of the most lackluster deaths of any James Bond villain, I think it was him. You know, I was like, that was it. You know, when finally he gets the bullet in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it should have been far, much more exciting.
It's
But
same thing with the bad guy from Casino Royale, played by.
yes, how
Mads
disappointing
Mikkelsen.
was that? He got away too easily.
Yeah.
And Bond wasn't even the one to kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I recently rewatched it because I couldn't.
How could you do that?
What do you mean?
Those first two Daniel Craig.
Oh.
movies, I had a tough time.
It
They
had been it had been a few years since I had watched it, admittedly,
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't remember much from that movie. Besides, there's like scenes that I remember from it really well, and I was like, oh, geez, I don't remember the last half of that movie.
Yeah.
Which was I say when it's my favorite? It's one of my favorite James Bond movies, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, Mads Mikkelsen, like a totally cool actor, weird looking guy, and it's
right.
he should be he's a great actor, and it's like, oh, he's a wonderful villain.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you kind of rewatch it, and you're like, oh, okay.
He was, I like him. I liked his performance. It wasn't over the top that you would expect a James
Right.
Bond villain to be, but with him, it was the character comes out to me in the poker game.
Right.
I mean, it's just all that. I mean, he had so much writing on that game, and it was all you could see it in his face. It was just all so pent up. He kept that energy so contained. I thought, but I thought that whole segment of the poker game and the tenseness, I really enjoyed it. That was me anyway. And
Yeah,
poker, I could
well-
care less about really.
Yeah.
I think because those first, not only that one, but the Quantum of Solace too. They were,
Oh, forget
they were
it.
trying to test the waters and bring him into full Bond, and those first two movies I just kind of liked.
I don't like Quantum of Solace.
I like Casino Royale. I did not like Quantum of Solace. When I walked out of the theater after seeing that, I said, they just killed the Bond franchise. Really, it was that much of a lackluster.
Casino Royale, I'll give a pass to. The other one, I just can't. And he redeemed himself with the following one.
I think they
yes.
knew.
Yeah.
I think
They had to do something.
If Skyfall, you guys think if Skyfall didn't do nearly as well as it did, they could be like, all done.
Yeah.
All
And
throw in the
Skyfall
towel.
was wonderful.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was
Right down
like you said.
right down
was
to the
the-
theme song, which I thought was wonderful. I think it's we always think about going to James Bond.
Yeah.
Always has these wonderful theme songs. Of course, we think
We were
of
talking about that earlier.
Goldfinger. I think of Thunderball, sung
told
by
you.
Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die.
Paul
Yes,
McCartney.
right.
And then View to a Kill with
View
Duran
to,
Duran.
and also the other one that was big. The underwater one. I cannot think of
Thunderball?
it. No, not Thunderball. Which
Underwater.
Thunderball was great.
Spy
can't-
Oh.
Movie?
No,
What's
I
the-
can't think of it. Nobody does it better. Nobody does it better. I'm not going to sing for this
Oh,
podcast.
that was,
that was
Sheena. Was that? No, that wasn't Sheena.
Oh, hold on.
Wait.
buy me time while I look it up.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
For Your Eyes Only? No.
For Your Eyes Only. That was Sheena Easton.
Spy
That
Who
was
Loved
very
Me.
good.
Spy Who Loved Me. Okay.
Yeah, that was the Egyptian one, where you
Egyptian
first
one.
saw Jaws. What was the first
That
one?
was The Spy Who Loved Me. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
one.
Spy Who, yes,
Yes.
Spy Who Loved
Yeah,
Me.
it's
Yeah,
that
I
one,
cannot
yeah.
think of the singer. Yeah, yeah. For Your Eyes Only was Sheena Easton. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you just looked it up.
I know, I
Did you
just
see
had
that?
it, and I
Okay.
just
Tried
closed
to
it out.
distract
They all run
people.
into each other after a while.
Right, yeah.
Carly Simon.
Carly Simon. That's right.
Oh my
yes,
God,
that's
how
right.
could we forget her?
I remember that
My
summer. That was
God.
I'm like,
that
gee,
was
if
a
only
huge hit. That summer it was on the
Only someone
radio all
had
the
Google in
time.
front of them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm the jerk at the computer. What's your favorite James Bond song? Real quick, because
Yeah, it
you
was-
kind of like you.
To me, it was Live and Let Die.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fantastic.
I liked.
To me, it's
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thunderball.
Thunderball.
Always
I'm with ya.
Thunderball.
I'm
yes,
with you.
Yeah.
I told this one. No, one of my favorites is Thunderball.
And the funny
David
thing
goes,
is-
no.
Oh, I love Thunderball. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones. And the funny thing is, I saw him maybe about 2 years ago at this command performance for the Queen or whatever.
That's right.
80-year-old Tom
Uh-huh.
Jones. And boy, did he belt that song out again. You know, I just love that
He passed
song.
out when he recorded it.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
I
last
can-
note,
I-
like you just said.
I can
He
believe
said
it.
supposedly he passed out, and then he woke up, and he woke up, and the room was still spinning.
Wow. No, I
Yeah.
can believe it.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that's the take that they used, where he face plants after
Sure.
belting out the last
I can
note.
picture him with veins popping out of his head, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, and I like
Yeah.
the one from Casino Royale as well. You Know My Name. That's a really good one.
And I like Skyfall. I love Adele's singing of Skyfall.
I was telling you.
Talking about Sam Smith.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of the? We thought of it, but could you remember the name of the song for Spectre?
No.
Exactly. Very forgettable. After
That's right.
after
Yeah.
Sky, like you said, Skyfall. For me, at least, was the first Bond song that I can remember continuously hearing on the radio, and being like, "Oh wow, like wowee, like this is a big thing." Probably because
I think that was
Adele.
the first one in quite a long time that
Yeah.
got airplay on
Probably,
the radio,
yeah.
too.
And I remember hearing that one over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And after
It's
it was
a
like
great song.
it was like eating dessert. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like I can go a little while. It's a great
No,
song.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite Bond opening the credit things where it shows all these cool things, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But yeah, I think if you sat me down, it's like, hey, listen to this song. Do you like it? Like, oh yeah, it's been
Yeah.
5 years, so
That's
you know,
true, yeah.
probably more. But
But
wow.
that is part of the whole thing, is when you see whoever is playing James Bond, you see the gun.
Oh,
into
yes, yeah.
the viewfinder, and then the song starts.
then the song
you know,
starts,
and
yeah.
That's right, yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
that- all the characters are flying behind whoever, and all the
Yeah.
credits
Mhm.
start.
yeah,
That's part of the whole
the shtick.
shebang.
Yeah. It's like Star Wars, you sit down, you're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
Gonna
blasted
come
by
Yeah.
John Williams's music and the
Right.
scroll.
Yeah.
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 So when we're recording this, No Time to Die hasn't come out yet. So it may never will. No, it'll come out. It'll come out at some point.
Oh, we've all seen
Um,
the trailer.
We all saw the
Gotta be
trailer.
somewhere, you know.
Supposedly
They
it's
should
gonna.
send us a advanced copy.
Again, that's true.
I think so, too.
I'm gonna date this podcast real bad, but at this time, I think it's Netflix and Apple Plus, whatever their streaming service is. They're talking about who gets the streaming rights to the movie. So, don't know yet. You don't like that?
Well, it's going to go into the theaters first, I certainly hope. No, then I
No,
don't like that.
you don't like that.
No.
Got to see this
It
movie.
belongs in the I don't
Yeah,
think
you got to
it-
see a James
gotta
Bond.
see it on
You got to
the
see it on a big
screen.
screen first, of
during
course.
the
on,
during the
Taylor.
during the next pandemic, when they're reaching for movies, you'll be able to rewatch it in the movie theater.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like like that again.
No, that's a big no for you guys.
Oh, big no for me,
Prefer
personally,
to
yes.
see it in the theater,
Okay.
surrounded by people, even though they're coughing on me.
Or the last movie that we went to go see, it was only you, me, and Savigny.
That's true. Yeah, there were only.
We're the only
Only
dweebs
three
in that
people in that
entire
theater.
building who
You're
are going to go
right,
see
yeah.
movies.
You're right. Yeah.
So where I was going, we're at a pretty important time in James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's either confirmed or heavily hinted that this will be the last movie that Daniel Craig portrays James Bond in.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you guys have any ideas or kind of like who you would cast as the next James Bond or Bond 20?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Go
Are you
first.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would it be?
For
Who's the
me?
lucky guy or gal?
For me, the lucky guy would be Peter Dinklage.
Are you serious?
I think he would be perfect. He is a great actor, and I think he could pull it off.
He's
Don't you think?
He's a wonderful actor. I love him, but I don't
Him
think
putting you down nicely.
I think they don't accept anyone under 4 feet at M16. So in the British Secret Service, so I don't think he'd qualify.
On stilts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He is suave.
He is.
He is suave.
He's done other roles besides the Game of Thrones, and I think he would be.
I'm
perfect.
thinking of him in Game of Thrones.
I
He's
think
got that wry
I
sense
think-
of humor.
Yeah.
I think he
Exactly.
would make an incredible villain.
Ooh, that would be
I think he would make an incredible James Bond villain, almost hearkening to the days of, if you remember, the Wild West with Dr. Michelito Lovelace,
Yeah.
played by Michael Dunn,
Yes.
who was a wonderful actor as well. I think he would be a brilliant James Bond villain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
If he couldn't beat Bond, I guess I'll have to settle
Yeah,
for
no,
that.
I hope someone.
sure Hollywood
You know,
is
I really
listening.
do hope someone hears this because I really do think he'd make a great villain. Yeah.
Well, maybe they could, even if he doesn't play James Bond, I think he would be a great little super spy somewhere. They could spin him off or turn him into his own.
Maybe like a
series.
Felix Leiter sort of character.
Yeah, that would be good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of actors that played
I
that
wanna say-
role too.
Right, a lot of it.
I want to see this
didn't
now.
expect that,
I
huh?
did not expect that one. The
Yeah.
wowee. That was good. That I was not. I was expecting to be surprised, but not shocked.
Well,
Wow.
you know where my mind goes.
Yeah. Wow. Have you been thinking about that long?
No, I thought about it this morning.
Wow.
So I put PD on my
PD. That's a good one. I like
I know.
that. That.
He began a fan club for this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm president of this
I would.
family.
I would. Yeah. I would back that
Okay.
in a
That's
heartbeat.
good.
As,
What about you? Mello?
as James Bond?
Mhm.
Okay, I'd back him as a villain. Okay.
Okay.
Most definitely, I'd love to see him as a villain. I really haven't given it much thought. I've kind of been coasting along with Michael Craig. I've really enjoyed him in the role. I'm sorry to see that he's going to be going because I think he's got a few good years left in him as the character. And we were talking about it earlier, Dave and I hadn't given it much thought, but the more I think about it, I think Michael Fassbender would
Ooh,
probably
yeah.
make a good James Bond. He has that, I think he has the physical look for it.
Yeah.
I think he has an air of sophistication, but that dangerous side to him as well. That's come out in various roles, and I think really he could pull it off.
I think so. Yeah.
And
Oh, that's a
I
good
just
one,
haven't
too.
started thinking about. I've only started thinking about that since earlier this morning.
Okay.
But the more I think about it, the more I'd like to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would make
Yeah.
a good Bond. How about
Mine. I changed my answer because as much as I love him, everyone says Idris Elba is
Yeah,
going to
that's-
be.
you?
I think he's one of my favorite actors. I think he could do it really, 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 really well. Especially that suave kind of cool guy persona. But I thought of another guy who he consistently falls in my. I would want this guy in this franchise or like this big budget series. Armie Hammer.
We were talking about him too because, well, we weren't talking about him. We were talking about Henry Cavill because they appeared together in Man from Uncle.
Yeah.
And it was such a
such a good
They both did a great job.
Yeah.
Playing super spies. And
I've never seen. You like Man from Uncle?
Yes.
Oh, I never
thought it was
seen it.
good.
I'll have to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good.
They
Yeah.
played well off each other. But yeah, you're right.
And this is a totally different topic, but I think he would be a really good Superman if Henry Cavill has to hang up the cape. I think because he has, like you said, Mello, he's got that. I think he could do suave, like really. I do.
Armie Hammer?
Yeah, I think he could dial it in. I do.
Yeah, I can't see him as Superman though.
And he is over 6 feet. He is over 4 feet as well. So he covers MI6.
Yeah, okay.
Good Lord. But he's his face. He's
His face.
Well, no, I mean, as far as Superman,
Okay.
I wouldn't cast him in Superman.
No.
Because he's doughy.
Doughy. He's a doughy man. But James Bond,
He's got that face. He's got that, like me. He's always smiling.
Okay.
Do you recall?
Oh, that's
being
right.
in
Could not
trouble?
be Superman. Yeah,
Right, he
yeah,
can't
forget
be
it.
Superman.
Yeah.
Superman can smile. James Bond can't smile, but Superman
Henry
can smile.
Cavill does a good job as Superman. I know
Yeah,
you
he
don't-
does.
Yeah.
He does a remarkable job.
Yeah.
But
So, I don't know.
See,
if-
now that
if
Dave is
Armie-
comparing it to himself, I can't see him as Superman. Forget it. No.
See what you've
Definitely.
done.
I'm talking about the other guy. But he's always smiling, so it doesn't. It doesn't.
On a completely different topic.
yeah.
If James Bond were an actual person and he were alive today, do you know how old he would be?
Ooh. Wait, what do you mean? How old?
Well,
From the books,
from the
when they
yes,
said in
from
the
when he
books
was
how-
born, his birth date from the
the-
first James Bond novel
to now?
to now, if he was still alive,
He'd be in his 80s.
I was gonna guess 80s.
guess again.
Wow.
Are we under?
First one
Under.
came out in the 50s,
Mm.
right? Was it?
1964 was the novel. Yeah.
Wow.
James
Oh.
Bond would be. James Bond was born on November 11th, 1920. He would be 101.
Wow. He's a centennial.
He'd be dead. He's
Wow.
dust. Yes.
He's dust. Yeah,
James
from
Bond
all
is
that
dust.
No,
Yeah.
James Bond will never die.
from all that
But
from all that abuse. Yeah, he would be a rough
But
101.
in the novels, he's just accepted as being 37, 38.
Yeah.
That's
He
James
never
Bond's
ages.
age, yes.
Right.
Because their retirement, according to M16, is 45. They
Oh my
retire
God.
them from active duty. So,
And the other thing we haven't mentioned Pierce Brosnan.
What about
we
him?
haven't. We haven't mentioned Timothy Dalton,
And-
who we should just forget about.
yes, I agree with you
And
completely.
then we haven't mentioned George Lazenby either. So those three.
Oh yeah,
gentlemen.
I'd like to talk specifically about George Lazenby. But
Go right
another
ahead.
topic before we can close this.
Yeah.
Right.
Before we can close this today, we have to mention who was our favorite Bond girl.
Oh, I got
Okay.
it immediately.
Really?
Immediate.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that was quick.
Yep. I know mine. Let that stew. But what?
I'm not familiar with the actress. What movie was it from?
Oh, what movie?
Yeah.
Casino Royale.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes.
Vesper.
Vesper, yes. She was wonderful. It's terrible. I've forgotten about her, but yes, she's high up there. My favorite, I would have to. Well, actually, it's a cross.
Okay.
My favorite, because the good Bond girl from Dr. No, Raquel Welch.
Yep.
Okay. I just can't get the image of her coming out of the water in the,
Yes.
with the knife strapped to her leg and the white bikini. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I just can't. And my second favorite, she was a villain, though. A Bond girl can be a
Yeah,
villain.
absolutely.
And it would have to have, I cannot think of her, her name, funny name. But I remember the Bond, the villain's name was Xenia Onatopp. From,
That was Octopussy, wasn't it?
no, that was from GoldenEye. And it was Famke Janssen. I just thought of her name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Beat me
She
down
was
just
she was
about to
just
look.
so bad that you just had to like her. You know, just had to like her. You know, machine gunning that room full of
right.
of Soviet workers and smiling and giggling over it. It was just too much. Yeah. It was, yeah.
Well, mine would have to be Solitaire from Live and Let Die.
Oh,
Yes, and
Solitaire.
and that was her first movie, as a matter of fact.
Was it?
Yes, they introduced her in that movie. Yes, I can't think of the actress's
Jane
name.
Seymour.
Yeah, Jane Seymour. Yes, yeah, yeah. She was.
Yeah, that was an understated one, but I liked that one.
Mhm.
And then I did enjoy the one with Timothy Dalton. They were writing down on the giant, the big.
Oh, the cello case. Yes, yeah. I see. Of all the James
try
Bond
to
girls,
block those out of your mind.
Yeah,
Of
those
all
are
the
they're bringing up
she-
repressed
I didn't
memories.
like her. She was wimpy
I
and
just want to
yeah.
throw him in there.
And
because
she's the one-
We're ignoring him completely. He is anyway.
Who?
by
Timothy
design.
Dalton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
No,
movie.
he doesn't exist.
That
I ignore him
scene
as
was
James Bond.
hysterically funny with them sliding down.
No,
in
I
the cello.
cringed with that scene. I really
Yeah.
cringed with
And
that
she
scene.
had that little cherub face, little blonde, playing.
Yeah, no, she just.
That was a forgettable.
And the funny thing is, she did a documentary on Bond women.
Really?
Yes, she went back and she interviewed all the living Bond women. This came out several years back.
That was
Very
What
interesting.
was her name? Olivia? Is that Olivia? She's a British actress.
Yes, British actress.
Yeah. You don't remember?
For what?
The
And it-
one in Living Daylights,
Mm-hmm.
which was a horrible movie.
Do you think I'm the only
Yeah.
person who has
You have a computer in
Googled
front of
Bond
you,
girl
you know.
living
But it was
daylight?
a very good
Licensed.
documentary that she did, and
Right.
she went around looking at all the women who are still alive, interviewing them that had played various Bond women, and looked at all the individual Bond women from the different
eras.
movies,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and spoke about how trend-setting it was for women to be represented as such. You know how it could be a double-edged sword. You know, in a way that it presented these women as being objects of, just sexual objects,
yeah.
or as very strong characters,
And
depending
that
on the
now-
movies that they
and-
were in.
And now here you have Moneypenny, who's
Yes,
fighting
right,
Roland
how
Sutton.
it's
It was
changed
great,
dramatically,
great,
yeah.
I'll have to look that up. But the other one that he was in was, of course, License to Kill, which was the polar opposite of Live and Let Die. It was the same movie,
Yes.
basically. But here they are strapped up. He's got Felix Leitner and him, and they're hanging by handcuffs.
Yes,
and
yeah,
What were
yeah.
were the alligators? I can't remember what it was, but it was like
No,
it was like a Burt Reynolds.
Yeah,
movie.
it was sharks. It was
Was it
sharks. Yeah,
Reynolds
because
movie?
his legs were eaten
They
off by
turned
sharks or
that
something.
movie,
Yeah.
that was the second one,
Yeah.
and thankfully it was his last one, into a Burt Reynolds movie.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
here they were in the South, and they were, come on,
Yeah.
that's not James Bond.
No.
He's not,
Yeah, no, it
not being
didn't.
chased by moonshiners.
It was the wrong location, for a
that
James
was-
Bond movie.
But it worked with Roger Moore, but Timothy Dalton, for
It
some
did,
reason,
yeah,
you
yeah.
wanted him to get eaten.
Yeah.
It's the only Bond movie you're rooting against him.
Yeah, I didn't like Timothy Dalton.
Poor Timothy
We
Dalton.
spoke about this too, that he makes a better villain.
Yes.
The
Right.
Rocketeer was fantastic.
Right.
because
He was a good villain
I love
in
the
it. Yeah.
Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Anytime
Bad
someone mentions,
Nazi, with the, yeah.
anytime someone mentions that movie, you get the same reaction from me. I go, oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
love
I don't
that
know why
movie.
it didn't do as
Definitely.
well in the theaters. Yeah.
No love,
Yeah.
no love for the poor Rocketeer.
And then so poor Pierce Brosnan is
Yeah.
none of them that were really memorable.
Mhm.
Or
Pierce Brosnan. I was looking forward to him being James Bond.
yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for
I
what you
loved
said
him.
earlier.
Yeah, I loved him in
Remington Steele.
Remington Steele.
Yes.
You know,
I did
he
too.
was
I thought
he
that was
was
a
he was
fantastic
suave.
show.
He was goofy. He was likable.
He did it, yeah.
Sort of a rogue, of course, and he was a disappointment to me as James Bond.
Okay.
Okay, I just to me, he tried to play it too cool.
Oh.
And it didn't work. To me, every time I see him as James Bond, he's trying to take himself too seriously. He's trying to sell the character or sell himself in the character too much, and he embodies the in a sense the coolness that James Bond is supposed to be, the ladies' man. But I just can't picture him being tough. Even when he would run, I was watching him running, and it was like he runs like a 12-year-old girl. I'm sorry, some of the.
Yes, sir.
To me, he just didn't embody James Bond to me.
What?
Who, Denise Richards, what was her? She was Christmas. She had a very
Yes,
odd name.
Christmas something
She was
or
a
other.
professor or a scientist.
Yeah, geologist. Yes, a geologist.
That was another. That was
which,
another point.
In which one?
World is not enough, I believe, but you couldn't take that one seriously.
Oh no.
But I
that the
believe
one-
the phrase you used earlier today,
The phrase. What was the
when
phrase?
describing Pierce Brosnan,
Refresh my
was
memory.
Pretty boy.
Yes. He was like a I'm sorry. He played it too much like a pretty boy.
Yeah, Christmas
yes.
Jones.
Christmas
Yes.
Jones.
Christmas Jones. Yes.
Odd name.
Stupid
too,
name.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I guess there have been worse.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
And then so then the other one was On Her Majesty's Secret Service was the
Right.
bridge. With,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. That was number 6, I think. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I like George Lazenby
Yeah.
as James Bond. I remember, and this is younger, going back and hearing all the talk about, he was a one-time James Bond. He couldn't cut it. Nobody liked him. But I'm not so sure about that because
But it was the idea that he was married.
right.
That was a whole nother world.
Well, he was married so
for
briefly.
a short time.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And of
poor
course that
Diana Rigg.
started him off.
That's
on
right.
his,
Oh, another Bond girl how could I forget
Diana
Diana
Rigg.
Rigg? Oh, I love Diana. I fell in love with her in the Avengers, if you remember, the Avengers. Oh, yeah. There's 3 favorite James Bond women for me. Yes, Diana
And,
Rigg is right up there.
Ursula Andress. Was she in Doctor No? Which one was she in?
Ursula Andress was in Doctor
Dr.
No.
No.
Yes, yeah.
And then of course the one that played the From Russia with Love there when she was on the train.
Oh,
Dressed up
I'm
as-
sorry, not
When it dressed
Raquel.
up-
Well, it was
dressed
Ursula
up-
Andress in Doctor No.
Dr. No,
with the
right.
white bikini and
Yeah.
I'm getting my bombshells mixed up.
That's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Happens.
that's right. Ursula Andress was wonderful, and I
Happens
thought
to
she was
the
wonderful in
best
that.
of us, Dave.
But yeah, Diana Rigg, I thought was good in that, and maybe that's why. You think that's why people didn't take to it? Is because he got
It might
married?
be because he got married. Of course, it didn't last too long, and then
Yeah.
set him off on his quest for revenge. But,
Right.
I don't know.
But no, I thought he embodied the coolness that James Bond's supposed to have. He was.
Do you think it was because Sean Connery wanted to come back for the last one, the Diamonds Are Forever? Did he push him out of the role?
I don't
Was
know.
there some sort of a
Maybe
It
I
was
never
more of a
thought
kick.
about that.
Kicked him out of the way.
Kicked him out of the way, yeah.
Like a drop kick.
I
Get out
don't
of
know.
here.
That could be
Yeah,
because I thought it did well. I'm sure it made money and
yeah.
Get out of the way. I need to make millions.
they invested. Oh my god!
I had to.
Alrighty then.
But
Okay.
Do you?
and I thought,
Oh, yeah.
as far as the storyline too, I enjoyed the storyline
Yes.
of On Her Majesty's Secret
Majesty's.
Service. And again, you had the character of Blofeld appearing once again. However, I thought Telly Savalas was more of a thuggish,
Yeah.
villain
No,
than
yeah.
a mastermind type character
I agree
that,
with you there,
that I see Blofeld as being. But
Right. Blofeld. This criminal network of people. Bad guys, and like you just say,
Yep.
versus a thuggish
Yeah.
kind of villain, which I kind of prefer. Smaller, contained
yes,
stories. Like
Right,
once
right.
once Bond he goes up into space and craziness. Like
yeah, I get
you
that
start
a little.
you start to lose me. And
Yeah,
that's just my personal.
We were talking
taste.
about Moonraker. Yes, you're
Uh-huh,
referring
yeah.
to Moonraker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry, David. I'm
But
sorry.
you got to think of the time that movie came out.
Right.
The space shuttle was all the rage, and
I get it.
this was Bond in space, and
Yeah, it was their answer to Star Wars.
yeah, it got kind of,
Right.
I just, what I hate most about the movie is that they turned the character of Jaws into something kind of laughable, which upset me. But I do like the other, the main villain, Drax.
Drax.
I thought he was very good. I cannot think of his name.
Michael
Michael Lansdale, yes. I thought he was very good in the
Yeah,
part.
He was.
Yeah.
He was
A
fantastic.
good
Yeah.
name for a villain.
Yes,
Drax.
Drax Industries, yes.
Drax.
Yeah.
The
And then even when they turned Blofeld into the cartoon going after Inspector Gadget, that was always a lot of fun as well. Do you remember Inspector Gadget?
No, I never.
Don Adams. Don Adams. played
I
the
never
voice
really
of-
watched it. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
I know
They
the
had
character. I know the
They had
cartoon.
a Blofeld.
Mhm.
with a white
Oh,
cat.
I did not know
Dr.
that.
Claw.
Yeah.
Dr. Claw. Right?
You only saw this.
Only saw the
Oh.
I think it was a
hand
golden or a metal
Oh,
claw,
see that?
and yeah,
Yeah,
petting
Yeah.
the cat. Yeah.
yeah.
and there's always this ugly, fat white cat. I think it's been so long.
Yeah. But I do hope they return with Christopher Waltz, because I thought he did a
Oh,
wonderful
yeah.
job as Blofeld.
Yeah.
I hope they return with this character.
He's a good villain.
He is. He plays a good villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Rami Malek, I think, will.
Oh, he's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I hope
Awesome,
so. He's
awesome.
going to play the villain. In the
Oh,
film.
really? Oh, very
That's
good.
Already been filmed and is in the can, which is now going to be streamed.
I think it'll be wonderful. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
because I think he's a great.
He
actor.
has a cool, like white mask
Mhm.
like that he wears, and I like villains that wear masks.
Oh, really?
So,
A masked
yeah,
villain. How
yeah.
cool is that? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be cool. I don't think I've ever seen Rami Malek as a villain. I don't.
No, because
Dang.
he's skinny and he
Yeah.
looks like you could just shove him over.
I love him. I think he's a great actor, but he's very unsettling. Like, he's a very unsettling.
he has
physique.
an odd look.
Yeah, and
Let's put it that way.
I think he's gonna be awesome.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so
So
too.
let's say with Mads, I hate keep going back to. I keep harping on Casino Royale, but
Right,
Mads
right.
Mikkelsen, what a weird looking dude.
Very, very weird looking.
Like,
Yes, yeah.
and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect. What a great villain.
Now you mentioned this character has a mask,
Mhm.
and I always like villains that have something
course.
unusual going on with their faces. You have Jaws,
Yep.
of course. You have Blofeld with the trademark scar. You have some with these unusual beards and things. And but the villain that really threw me, and it was like I cannot think of the character's name. It was and I can't think of the.
In Bond?
In Bond, yes, it was Pierce Brosnan. The character, he was Oriental and he had these diamonds in his face.
Oh.
That
was,
where his face was impregnated with diamonds in an explosion.
Yes. Was that?
Okay.
Die another.
I got you.
Very cool look, diamonds stuck in your face, but why don't you just pick them out with a pair of tweezers?
That was in Die Another Day.
Yeah, I mean, that just bothered me. I mean, okay, you've got diamonds in your face is scarred. I mean, what's to prevent you from just poking these diamonds out with a pair of tweezers?
Oh, man,
Really?
Was keeping
He was waiting. He was waiting for.
I mean,
them
how
to-
do you even keep them in
to-
your face?
He was waiting for them to fall out like
That just bothered me. I thought it was just so.
like splinters when you. He
Yeah,
was
I mean,
taking really
I-
long showers.
I can't imagine them. Yeah, we're in the shower. Wouldn't they come out? When you go to sleep with your face
Maybe.
being rubbed on the pillow, wouldn't they come out in the morning? I
Maybe.
mean, I just to this day it bothers
The
me.
right hand man of diamond magnate Gustav Graves.
Yeah. What was the character's name?
Tanglin Zhao.
Oh, see, it was. He wasn't
that's-
that memorable for me.
Or simply
it just
Zhao.
Zhao. Yeah.
And that might be another reason why the pretty boy didn't
Yeah.
do a good job.
That could be.
Look at this
He
cool
only
guy.
lasted for 4 movies.
Look how cool that is.
That is cool.
That
It's almost
is cool.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
yeah.
only covering probably
portion.
3/4 of his face.
Now, is he horribly scarred? Is that
Yeah.
why he wears them? Oh, I hope so.
There he is. Look at that.
Oh, nice. He's a
Yeah.
mess. Yeah, good.
He is a.
Good.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, but I think he's gonna knock it out of the park.
but I want to see it on the big screen.
It'll probably happen. I don't know. Maybe in a week we'll find out. Who knows?
Yeah.
Now,
Maybe the people at the good people at is it MGM? MGM will hear this podcast and they'll hear your plight.
Yeah.
And
Our
they'll say
protest that we won't spend our money to go see that.
just for you guys.
Now,
What were you gonna say?
I was just going to mention, we're talking about villains here.
Mm-hmm.
James Bond has never had, you can say it, that they have had a villainous women
Sure.
in the movies, but not an arch enemy.
Not a
Female arch enemy that he has to. There's always been henchmen
Right.
women like
Grace
Gertrude.
Jones.
What was it?
From the
Klebb.
from Russia with
Yes.
her.
How
Yeah.
can we? What was
Yeah,
her
on the
first
train.
name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And the shoe
What I
with
was-
the poisonous blade in it.
I
Yeah.
was going to say she was very pretty.
Yeah, she was nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
she-
you're right.
Can we consider her a Bond girl? Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Could make the argument Judi Dench, she's not a villain, is a Bond woman
Bond woman.
in Skyfall, how closely knit she is in the story. She kind of never goes away. She's
Judy
Holy
Dench.
Well, wait a
Judy
minute
Dench
now.
was a Bond lady.
Now that I'm looking,
She was a lady.
she's
yeah.
Dame Judi Dench.
there was Maud Adams as Octopussy.
That's right. Oh, that's right. But she was not really a villain.
Splitting
She
hairs.
was not really a villain. The villain there in that movie was the French actor.
Louis Jardin.
Louis Jardin. He was the villain. He was kind of. She was going along with her as a I think it was what was it? I cannot think. She was doing. She was working along with him, but not in
Right.
Not tied in with his more villainous going-ons. You know, he was. I forgot what she was in it. She was a.
Yeah, they were with the circus. They were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to remember.
And as you remember, at the end, she actually joined forces with Bond, and her traveling circus of female acrobats invaded his the Monsoon Castle, as you recall, which was his hideout. Yes, I love the names that they come up with these.
Yeah,
But if you recall, so
Well,
she
And then now I'm looking at this one too.
and then she was a Bond. She was in James Bond twice, as you remember.
Maud Adams.
Maud Adams, yes. She was Christopher Lee's woman in Scaramouche's, yes, whom he shot.
Man with the golden gun.
Yes, as you recall.
Now, Spy Who Loved Me, Barbara Carrera, wasn't she the?
Oh yes, she was. She was a henchwoman. You know, she wasn't the. She can't classify her as the arch villain, but yeah, she was great in it. She was wonderful.
All right,
Yeah.
well, maybe after Rami Malek, they'll put a woman.
Maybe,
in,
yeah.
as
Never-
a
Yeah, I mean they've.
We'll have to-
there've been plenty
again,
of
we'll have
evil
to-
Bond ladies, but they've always been in like a henchwoman type.
I think that
No.
day will, we
Yeah.
can get a really, villainous
Female.
female to be in Bond. But I wanted us. Did you have anything else, Mello, that you wanted to bring up?
Haven't I said enough?
No. Some would argue. What about Mr. Moquin? Do you have
I'm
any?
just still,
You're just riding the wave.
still upset about Peter Dinklage. I think he was,
We agreed with you.
Yeah, you calling him a villain. I think
Well, I'd agree with you as a villain. I think he should be the next James Bond villain. As a matter of fact, since you mentioned his name,
You lucky.
I think it would be great.
You got the most out of both of us. You
Yeah.
got Mello, who says
Yeah.
that
No,
he'd be a
I-
great villain. I agree he'd be a great Bond.
Okay. Oh, all right then. Oh, so
Yeah.
you agree with
I
me?
thought I
Good.
thought I was
Maybe.
Oh no.
Oh, I got this.
ready.
Oh yes. Why not combine both? James Bond has a twin. Okay, and Peter Dinklage can be both the villain and both James Bond. Okay, and he can battle himself in the movie.
They
Now that's he's got the acting chops for that. Don't you
He,
think?
he does, yeah.
Yeah.
But now you're talking like a new Austin Powers movie.
yeah.
Well,
you're,
no,
you're
we can keep it.
talking-
We can keep it serious.
You're
We can
talking
keep it serious.
Austin
yeah.
Powers meets the Prestige.
No,
okay?
we can keep it.
With the twins.
We can keep it a serious movie. Yeah, but I do think he'd make a better villain.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do either of you know we're still on the topic of No Time to Die, and I kind of wanted us to end on a high note. Do either of you have any predictions as to anything that's going to happen in No Time to Die? Be it any characters that'll be introduced or reintroduced or reimagined, or just a way that the story is going to go, anything like that. Because I have a few. I've been thinking about this movie for a little.
Enlighten us.
For me, I have nothing. I'm waiting to be surprised.
I know you would love to see Blofeld come back.
Oh yes.
So,
That is
if
one.
that does happen,
I hope that
would
continues.
be,
Oh yeah.
maybe that will be the end of this particular movie. Maybe that, like you said,
My
Marvel
prediction.
style.
I think
Maybe after the credits, and then you'll see him. Maybe he'll be in his wheelchair with the
yes.
cat, the whole
There
bit.
we go. Yes. Because he did get quite beat up at the
Right.
end.
Oh yeah.
Of,
He gets the scar.
the scar,
Mhm.
and
Right.
he's crawling along the
Right.
ground, and
Yeah.
So he will need a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll need a wheelchair. Yeah,
Yeah. I think when they
at least a walker. Yeah.
Well, walker.
And that's when James Bond will push him into the smokestack.
Yeah.
A villain,
No,
a villainous walker.
The
that
second
has-
thought, you can't be a villain with a walker. Yeah, a motorized
That
wheelchair.
has
motorized
to be a wheelchair.
Well, a walker with outfitted with various weapons.
Some sort of blowgun.
Yeah, blowgun.
Sure,
There you go.
machine gun. And
Jetpack.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah. Oh, God, what was the one with the jetpack, too?
That was
You're on.
Was that You Only Live Twice?
no, that was not You Only Live Twice. No, that
Jetpack,
was
jetpack.
Think about it.
that's one he was. That's one of the ones where he died. It opens with the funeral.
There was a jetpack in Thunderball.
The jetpack and
Was that? Yeah.
It was the first. It first appeared in Thunderball.
Oh, maybe it's Thunderball. Thunderball. I'm speaking of then. Yes.
Maybe. No, they didn't call it the Bell Rocket Belt.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
That was
Guess they
that
couldn't
was
say
really
jetpack.
cool.
That'd
That
be a
was really
little too
cool
crazy.
scene.
Yeah.
People wouldn't be able to suspend their disbelief. If
Right.
Do you have
Yeah,
a favorite James Bond gadget?
Oh.
Like the jetpack. The, oh, my God. A gadget.
The Aston Martin count? I know it's a car.
Oh yeah. Well, the Aston Martin stands out by itself.
It has.
You can't call that a
gadgets.
gadget.
Okay,
You can't call that a
okay.
gadget.
I thought I could do
That's
it on a technicality.
That's a piece of art.
Okay, it is a piece of art.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't say a gadget, but I did love Goldfinger painting everybody gold,
It's a good motif.
Yeah.
I like that.
And the laser going.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I.
Is there a gadget that you
Well, the
stands
goofiest one that as far as the goofiest gadget
goofiest
that
gadget?
James Bond ever employed, yes.
Yeah.
And I think you'd have a tough time topping me.
Okay.
And coming up with one to top me. And he's, of course, James Bond's known for his gadgets too. But think back to the man with the golden gun. As a matter of fact, the golden gun went at auction not that long ago. I forget how much it brought, the actual prop.
Wow.
But think back to the man with the golden gun.
I got nothing.
Okay. In this particular scene when he is impersonating Scaramanga, Roger Moore is aware of a particular characteristic that Scaramanga has that no other man has: a third nipple.
That's
And
Yeah.
so that would be, and he proves himself when the guards catch him breaking into that Oriental garden that belongs to this particular villain. He proves that he's Scaramanga by opening up his shirt, and there you see the third nipple in the center of his chest. So that's got to be the goofiest gadget that Bond ever employed,
Is that really-
and it got him out of a tight spot. So.
guess
Die
that-
Another
There you go.
Day
That would
had
be a
the
gadget.
Now, the gadget that I found the most interesting, and so did the U.S. Navy, was the gadget that was employed in Thunderball, the original Thunderball. when James Bond is thrown into the pool with the man-eating sharks. With the other, and the top of the pool is closed over by this metal enclosure. By Emil Lago, who was the villain, and the shark are released into the pool. Well, Bond takes out from his pocket this device that goes into his mouth that has 2 small oxygen tanks on either end. And after the U.S. Navy saw this, they called the producers of that, of James Bond, and were asking, where did you get this, and how does it work, and who manufactured it? Thinking it was an actual device for breathing underwater. So it fooled even the way it was employed in the movie, even fooled the U.S. Navy. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like the. Speaking of the car, I'm gonna get in by a technicality. Die Another Day had to be had the invisible car.
Oh, give me a break. Give me a... and that's another reason why I didn't care for Die Another Day. Yeah, the invisible car. It was too much. Too much.
I like that one. I like the stuff with the cars.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And, of course, there's always Little Nelly. Little Nelly. Yeah, it's from You Only Live Twice.
Hold on.
The helicopter, portable helicopter.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know she had a name.
Yeah, Little Nelly.
Little Nelly.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that is your favorite one, huh?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, that one had it all. I mean, come on.
Full disclosure, and you didn't know this, David, but I actually do have 3 nipples. No, I do. My brother. You
are Scaramanga.
I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my brother loves to tease my nephews and nieces and tell them that Uncle Dave has 3 nipples.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah, they're calling me all the time.
Yeah.
Because they don't believe him.
I don't believe him.
I do.
Do you also
You're
have
not
a
a
gold
villain.
cigarette case
Yeah.
and a gold pen and a
It's
gold lighter?
like right below. Right here somewhere.
Oh man! But going back to what you said, wrap up after you derailed us for a sec.
I'm
sorry.
Sorry, but
it's okay.
You don't hear that.
That just shocked everybody
Yeah.
You
here.
don't hear that too often.
And now he's lifting up his T-shirt and showing us all.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, when you brought that up as a gadget, it never occurred to me. But now I'm gonna have my brother listen to this one.
And he'll be like, "Oh,
He'll
that's
have
right."
the kids. Oh my gosh, I made the podcast. All right.
To kind of
Now everyone knows.
now everyone
Going
knows.
Further and
Yeah,
further.
to
Yeah,
go
I'll have
further.
people coming in and saying, "Hey, that's
Hey,
the
now,
nipple."
yeah, that's the third nipple guy.
You'll be
Get
asking
'em.
people to lift up your shirt in the library now.
That's how we're gonna have to find out you're really you.
Yeah, that's true.
If we have any suspicions that a Marvel villain, chameleon-esque guy comes into the library, hey,
They won't, yeah.
let's see it.
There you go.
Where is it?
Yep.
Right.
And you can always cosplay
That's right.
Emilio
Now you can-
Scaramanga.
Yeah.
Right.
Next Comic-Con here, you can be Scaramanga.
Yeah. Well, although was he? I don't. Did he have chest hair or how? I'd have to shave.
I don't. Yeah,
This
I
has
don't
gone
know.
completely off the
Off the rails.
I didn't pay that much attention.
Well, allow me to get us back
Oh my
on
God.
track
Yes.
here.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
I was telling Mr. Moquin this morning that my prediction for No Time to Die, we will find out who the next James Bond is. It'll either be a hint, or they're just gonna flat out say, they're gonna show who it is.
Okay, is there still rumors that it could be a woman?
Sure. Well, I don't want to. I read an article yesterday, actually, and I don't know if it could be considered a spoiler because they already showed
No.
her. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What?
So, that movie is already in the can. It was supposed to be out last April.
Correct.
So they already know
Who already
who
knows?
who the new James Bond is. Is that something that you're just throwing out there as a rumor, or is that actually going to happen?
It's that they're going to show. So in Die Another Day. God, No Time to Die.
I threw you with that one
You
too.
really threw me off.
I don't know what the heck's going on, Taylor?
In the movie, they've already confirmed a few things about the plot, and there's a character who is going to be, for a time, the new 007.
In that movie?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
Now, whether or not that, as a technicality, means, oh, well, they're the next James Bond. So, that got me thinking.
For some reason, the 007 status gets
It's the
taken
number.
away from Daniel Craig and becomes... So there's someone that's...
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how
Because in Casino Royale, he gets the, he becomes the new 007 right at the beginning in the opening scene. He kills the dude, and
That's right.
and then in the theme song bit, there's a part where you see, it's on screen. It says 007 status filled or something like that. It's just a number. It's like Dread Pirate. It's just a title. Dread Pirate Roberts. It can be many. But, yeah, I like it. So that got me thinking even further, to go further into this rabbit hole. What if the next James Bond... So, if they hone in on the name, on the title, 007, what if in the next movie it's not James Bond in such
How
and
can
such?
it be James Bond then?
007 in movie.
I have a problem with that.
You got
Yeah. To me, then you end the James Bond franchise and you begin the 007 franchise.
Yeah.
It's
tricky.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Yeah, because wasn't there one movie, I can't remember which one, where there was a 005 and there was a whole...
Well,
yeah, there's a bunch of them.
009 dies
wasn't there
in...
one recently? Recently? Wasn't
Yeah,
there one that...
there was a 00 that died.
Was that not Spec?
They all get blown to
They mentioned one
smithereens
dying in. Well, they're always mentioning them dying.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah,
and there.
I don't
They
know.
were all wiped out except for 007.
Right.
Wasn't there one that...
That was it the episode where they were killing them all one after another was the episode with Louis Jourdan, if you remember.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
it opens with one of them being chased,
Yeah.
and he was a clown.
It's right
and
at the- it's
he
at
gets
the
a knife
beginning.
thrown in his
That's
back.
right. Yes.
And it's understood afterwards
That
that
he
there were
was-
several others that were being killed.
Okay.
So
I don't
killing
know.
off all the 00s.
I like that.
Being the endless sort of the bottomless pit of useless information that I am, does anyone remember what Spectre stands for?
No.
Come on, Dave.
I'm gonna look it up.
And I always wanted one of those cool octopus rings. I'd want to become a member just so I could have one of the cool octopus rings that all the members wear.
Go ahead.
So were you really excited when they brought Spectre back?
Oh, I was absolutely delighted. I was waiting for years for them to bring it back. Ever since that farce with the guy in the wheelchair in what was the that episode of what one was that?
That was...
Where you see him in the
What
Yeah.
a hokey...
where it started. Yeah.
That was...
What a hokey meaning. I had no idea.
That was the beginning of View to a Kill, wasn't it?
Was it View to Kill? No.
No, maybe.
All right, Mello, what does Spectre stand for?
Okay, we give up special. Let's see if I got it right.
Yeah.
Special Executive for Terror, Revenge, and Extortion.
You are so close, you forgot the C.
Oh. Special
Executive for...
Crime? No.
It's stupid.
Special Executive for
Counterintelligence.
Counterintelligence, terror, revenge, and extortion.
Bingo.
That's right. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's make a word salad of all these really bad things.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. But how cool is that?
Yeah, and I guess that's to kind of bring it all full circle. I guess that's why we love James Bond.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can be serious and funny and so pants on head stupid that you can't help but
Right.
smile or get some kind of joy
Yes.
out of it.
Yeah, that's
And you always, even if you weren't crazy about the James Bond that you saw,
Yep.
you're always looking forward to the next
Yeah.
one. It's just part of I was going to say American culture, but it's an international. He's an international icon,
Yeah.
really. When you think of a secret agent, when you think of a
James
spy,
Bond.
it is James Bond.
Yeah. Yeah. When you said, you leave and you're like, oh, that was, you remember it. I don't know if it's a thing with me, or because they do it in the Marvel movies. They'll say, Captain America, Spider-Man will return.
Yes.
And they'll kind of either say the next title, or they'll just say Spider-Man will return.
Right.
At the end of each James Bond, you get
Oh,
that.
yeah, and you
get
always
that
look
message,
forward to
James
that.
Bond will return.
And
It's
that,
like,
and that stayed with you,
Yeah.
and you looked forward to it the next
Yeah.
summer or however long it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And I think it had a different significance back then, because you were left with that little tag hanging. And today we can always jump on the internet
Right.
and follow the progress of these films. Back then you really never could,
Right.
except through the occasional movie magazines. So you were left really hanging until that next year or 2 years or however long it took to make the film. You were left dangling with no information virtually,
Yeah.
waiting for that next Bond film. Now we know well in advance who's
Oh, yeah,
going to be in it, the villains. We see plenty of pictures, post-production pictures and drawings and what they have planned. But back then it was different. So the anticipation for the film was so much more heightened, I think, than it is now.
And it feels like it's been 10 years since we found out that Daniel Craig wanted to be done with James Bond.
Right, yes.
And it, this movie, I think it was after Skyfall, when they were like, he was like, I think I'm done. And they wheeled him in for
Scrambling.
Spectre
Yeah.
and then this one. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Who knows? He might just say, hey, about that record, he might just say, hey, forget it. I'll be James Bond until I'm 80-something years
Yeah.
old, and, we'll see. We'll have an Indiana Jones situation on our hands.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Don't bring him back, please. But, well, you guys, if you guys have anything else Bond-related, if you guys want to...
No, I think we covered
I think
just about
so.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, gentlemen,
Well,
for
thank you.
joining me in this top secret meeting of James Bond fans. And
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I'll have to kill the two of you before I leave the room.
yeah, too much information.
Too much information.
was
Yes.
revealed.
Yeah.
And